You are what you've been searching for. There is everything to give. And we are back with another reflection on the daily Vedantic. Did you know that in Einstein's calculations, there wasn't just room for the discovery of black holes, which we then subsequently discovered, but his math also pointed to something called white holes, the polar opposite of a black hole. You see, black holes, as we all know, suck everything in because of an insanely dense gravitational pull. Insanely strong gravitational pull that sucks everything around it in. But a white hole is the opposite. Nothing can get near it. And it's constantly pushing everything out of it. It is like, instead of a hole in a golf course where everything is just falling in, it's like a hole in the golf course where everything is coming out. The grass, the trees, the sun, the birds, an infinite amount of golf balls just coming out of it. And if anything tries to go in, it's impossible. If anything tries to approach it past a certain point, it's impossible. Just like if anything tries to escape from a black hole past a certain point, it is impossible. Now, we haven't found any white holes yet, but it's such a fascinating concept. And it was only a matter of time before we found black holes. But this concept of a white hole where it can't take anything in, but it has everything to give. In many ways, that is what we are told we are within the philosophy of Vedanta. In terms of continuous study, the world's oldest philosophy on the planet for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, it has been saying the same message over and over and over again, that you could sum up in 3 words in Sanskrit: Tattvam Asi, that thou art. Or colloquially, you could say you're it. You are what you've been searching for. Whether it is the purchase of a Porsche, whether it is a career milestone, whether it's a significant other, you yourself, who you are deep down, not the name that you go by, not the ego that you think you are, but who you are deep down is what you're really searching for. In terms of philosophical concepts, it's the oldest one in the book. Another term for who we actually are is paripurna, all full. In the midst of a life where we're constantly accumulating, trying to get more, constantly thinking, I might not have enough, I need a little more, 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 we're told that we are not just complete, we are all full. We can't have anything added to who we truly are. Not who we think we are, but who we truly are. And that experientially tracks to what we go through. You get that car, you get that career milestone, you get that spouse, you get the child, you get that ice cream. You get the weekend with friends. You get the weekend away from it all. And it never fully satisfies. The Buddha's first noble truth: life is suffering. The word dukkha, which is often translated as suffering, could also be, there's no direct English translation, could also be translated as dissatisfying. Life is dissatisfying. All of those milestones, if you've had enough of them, you might still be under the illusion that the next one right around the corner is going to be it, is going to be the one. J.D. Rockefeller famously said when he was asked, when he was The world's richest man was asked, how much is enough? And he said, just a little bit more. We all think that. Just around the corner. When this thing comes in from Amazon, when I get that news, when we get that house, that's when we're going to be all full. And yet, any of these external things, you bring them close, get them within your arms, and they never quite satisfy. Maybe for a month, maybe for a day, maybe that ice cream's satisfying for about 30 minutes. But it's never truly satisfying. And maybe that's because we are like these white holes, where we are meant to give, where everything that we have is meant to come out of us, move through us. We're meant to give, and every attempt to get, to take, to consume, we can get up to a certain point, but then it never quite hits. Get real close. You think it's about, that ice cream's about to satisfy. You think that that career milestone is going to satisfy. That conversation with the spouse that you wanted to go a certain way is going to satisfy. And then it never quite gets to the center. Sounds like bad news that life is dissatisfying. But the good news is, the best news, perhaps the best news that any of us could ever hear, is who you are, your natural state, is all full. You can't add anything to it. It will all be externally dissatisfying because who you are at your core is already all that is. And all of this chasing, these extrinsic motivators, these external pursuits are all illusory. Distract us from tuning into who we really are. We approach life like we are black holes, trying to get more, thinking that it's going to make us happy, that it's going to give us satisfaction. But maybe we're like white holes, where there is nothing to get. There is nothing to get. So what do we do with this time if there is nothing to get? Well, that's not the whole message. Yes, there is nothing to get. But this philosophy and this message goes further. You look around your community, look around your household, you look around your friend group. There is nothing to get. That's true. But there is everything to give. And when we look back at the lighthouses through history that we're still talking about thousands of years later, they approach life exactly like that. Looking around and saying, there is nothing to get. But equally aware that there is everything to give. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.